More people struggle these days to pay their credit card debt. In fact, a new report shows both credit card and auto loan delinquencies have now surpassed pre-COVID levels. Americans now face more than $1 trillion in credit card debt. So I'm joined with Chris Mediate, our financial expert with Mediate Financial Services in Canfield. Chris, thanks so much for being here in the studio today.
Great. Thanks for having me. Yes.
So no one likes credit card debt, and this also comes right now when we're also getting ready to get those student loan payments back. So a lot of people racking up debt here, and you know, how concerning is this to you? Is this just another part of inflation, or there's some other factors here at play?
No, it's concerning. You just mentioned student loan debt. On top of that, we're hitting a record. $1 trillion in credit card debt, it's a record. Interest rates up, another record. Average credit card, 20%. I think inflation pressures have really started to put a lot of things on people. We used to have record savings, now we have record debt. Okay, so this is, I think this is going to continue as inflation continues to remain sticky. Get those student loan payments started now, Madison, and now couple that, some people might be really struggling to make their payments.
Right, yeah, no, and just, you know, the time between when, you know, pre-COVID till now, just slowly building up with the inflation, even though if things are getting better, it's probably just, you know, over time it's gotten kind of snowballed into a
It really has,
yeah.
and I think it's going to continue.
Right. And on top of this, you mentioned credit card interest is so high.
Yes.
Now, obviously, everyone's situation is a little different with what they owe, but what is the best advice for those maybe that have thousands in credit card debt, and then those who have, you know, tens of thousands or more? Like, what can you do in those different scenarios?
That's really good that you're asking that, because there's a couple things we could do. And I see this a lot in my practice is people don't understand a budget. Okay, so one of the things is I always tell somebody, go back to the simple things. Budget. Know where your money's going, inventory, look at it. Pay for the needs more than the wants. You got to start looking at ways to cut back some of the excess spending.
Right.
Those subscriptions, you know, the Netflix is nobody wants to do that, but let's be real. Those are things we could start cutting. Build a plan. Stick to the plan and set your goal to be able to do that, and I would be working really hard to try to get out of debt. I mean, especially at interest rates at 20+%, you got to do it.
Yeah, no one wants to be in debt, and I know there are a lot of people out there who can relate to this, and it can be a really stressful situation for families. And you just mentioned, because I've been kind of looking at my subscriptions and just kind of, you know, trying to, you know,
we all have them.
We all have them, yeah, and just trying to, they add up, you know, like even just like the music, and I was, you know, I decided to cancel mine just because I haven't been using it. So you mentioned though the budget, and I read somewhere that the first thing you want to do if you're not already, and I think a lot of people might not be doing this, but track what you spend and actually make a budget.
Everything. You should be taking an inventory of where your money's going, everything. On Tuesday, I mentioned, I did it with Steve. We said, you know, somebody's spending $5 a day on Starbucks coffee, okay? Now think about this. If this is our habit, and I'm just picking on this for just a second, but over time, if I did that every day for 20 years, instead of maybe putting it towards something, that's costing like $79,000, okay? We can make these little tweaks. Those little tweaks can help us save money. Put that towards the debt. Start making tweaks to your budget.
Make your coffee at home, everyone. Make it at home. And really quick, too, I know, you know, of course, you know, you work in the financial department. Does it make sense if you do have super high interest or even student loan debt, or you have high interest credit card debt, to talk to a financial advisor? Are there some maybe loopholes or ways that they can help you get that interest lowered, or are you better off just kind of figuring it out yourself?
You know, I mean, again, I think what a financial advisor can do, Madison, is kind of help you organize, help you kind of be the accountability partner. That's kind of part of it. But we also got to take action ourselves. I mean, the first step is recognizing we have it. So we've got to start to do that. And look, consolidations. If you still have good credit, try to save it. Start looking at lower interest rate credit cards, maybe get into some consolidations. You know, doing anything that you can to get ahead of this.
Yeah, do your research, reach out to someone if you can.
Right.
Yep, and face the numbers and just get
accountability partners. That's what we say. Sometimes we all need it.
Yes, absolutely. Well, thank you so much, Chris, for being on today.
Absolutely.
Coming up tonight on NBC Nightly News, after we squeeze in late summer travel.